little brother, in which we're doing this documentary for, Douglas Robinson, Your Death Will Not Be in Vain.
He was a heck of a great dude.
And I love Doug. Doug loved me.
Just being around him, he had a good spirit. He was a healing person.
They are there.
Get SROs back.
When you give to the poor,
should not be forced out of their neighborhoods when it goes through a period of transformation.
Because there are too many people who are losing their homes to taxes because they can't pay a $1,000 tax bill.
But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, you know, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, let me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
We're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man, Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
Learning Network. Yeah, right.
The lies that people tell you. Because here's the thing, us speaking, how many of you in here know that we have the power to speak things into existence? Okay, so let's talk about music for 1 minute. So let's talk about some of these songs and some of these lyrics that we say and some of these lyrics that we listen to. So if I have a song and it's my favorite song and subconsciously I may hear this song on the radio 10 times a day, I'm saying these things and I'm speaking this stuff over my life 10 times a day. How many of you know that eventually whatever you speak, you will become? Because our men, excuse me, are not niggas. They're not bitches. They're not sissies. They're not faggots. They are young black kings. Hello? Our females are not bitches. They're not hoes. They queens. It's up to us to change the narrative. We keep feeding into it. When are we going to make a difference? When are we going to say enough is enough?
So in a social media world, and Deborah, you brought up the cucumber challenge that's currently going on. How do we change the narrative? Because social media right now is running everything.
It's the murder capital. That's the first thing. It's the murder capital of the world. We now have to lobby for censorship. See, here we go. This is one of the things they need to get hit with, influencing the mind of a minor. So now because they're sitting up there, the cucumber challenge that these girls are doing, you got little girls that think it's okay. Because guess what? It's the numbers. You got little girls that think it's okay to clap their behinds on the internet because, Dad, I was told, Big Mama, look at this. Look how many numbers my friend got. Well, I can't do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, it is something wrong with that. Y'all have to think about there's little kids that look up to us. They look up. You know, when I was a kid, if I was hanging out down there with Rita, and Rita was the hoe of the community, I was gonna get the brakes beat. My mama would stomp me out. You couldn't play with the hoe girl. The whole community knew that everybody was climbing through her windows. You couldn't be there. But see, people allowed that power to be taken away from us and say, oh, you hit me, I'll call the police on you, tell them that you gave me a beating. I got stomped out and I'm sitting up here before y'all right now, and I'm okay. But our power has been taken away from us as parents. But yet, Angela made a good point today as we was talking about that. It's okay when they go into prison for them guards to stomp you down if you do something that they don't want you to do. Now, who's charging them? Who's charging these cops because the child raised their hand up at them and you shot him down and now they're dead? Is any charges coming to them? But you being charged for beating your child, from stopping them, and your beating is out of love. Stop being malicious. Everybody's not malicious. I stomped mine out, right, Walker? Stomped them out. Them boys was doing something. Call the police on me. Because now we got to make this better, because the morgue got to come too. Now they got a body bag. Because ain't nobody going through that. You damn near lose your life when you laying on that table giving birth. How dare you come tell me what to do with mine? I'm going to be the one sitting there crying and going through all that stuff, not you. And every day we think this is cute. We think it's cute when we get on that internet and they showing guns. Every Tuesday, I'm in DJJ. And I'm sitting there with a group of boys that are sitting there. First when I came in there, they thought it was going to get put on with some music. But see, they was told if you go to jail, you got brownie points. And now they have something to rap about and they have something to talk about. And they gonna get on because they locked up in there. But see, I'm sitting in there with babies, literally 12, 13, 14, 15, 30 years, like bids. Some of them been sitting in there waiting till they're 18, waiting to go over. They go to the next prison and wait till they're 21. Now you're going to the big jail. That's not funny. So there's them little boys that are sitting there at times I got to get up and walk out the room because I'm in tears listening to what they're saying. And then those that are sitting in there popping them pills because they making them think that they bipolar, they manic depressive, and they sitting in a group, their heads falling back, nodding down. And I'm looking like, yo, what's up? But guess what happens? When they're released and they go home, guess what? The prescription don't go with them. It don't go with them. So now they're graduating. Where do you think they're going next? Because they're taking the pills, baby. They got to keep taking them. The pills is addictive. So y'all have to understand there's legal junkies. So we're medicated so many ways. Mental health is big. There's a lot of people sitting in jail. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They're being charged 2 times. They came out here, there's something wrong with them. And now they're charged again. What all this got to do with entertainment? Because when it started as a way of life. An alternative to us going out there, shooting, beating each other up, getting in trouble. You got to throw that stuff out on the mic. And people got to tell their story. Now there's fictitious stories going around. You ain't even about that life when you sitting up here talking about this. Because see, first off, if you was about that life and you know anything about the laws that's governed in the street, you ain't telling nobody, you little snitch. Everybody's a snitch. Everybody telling on themselves and Pookie too. Just listen to the records. You'll know what everybody's doing. So entertainment goes a whole lot of ways if you really want to learn what entertainment is about. And then for women, where do we come in at? Taking back over our households and not competing against our children. Mothers competing against their daughters. Thinking you as young as your daughter is. You want the body your daughter have. You want their friends. You want to be in the club every weekend. That's all entertainment. You said women are entertainment. You ain't got nothing to do with no damn records and stuff. It's entertainment. What is entertainment?
And what are you willing to stand for? Because here's the thing. I am so glad, because I am no better than nobody. I promise you, I look polished, but I promise you I was wilder back in the day. But listen, I'm so glad we didn't have social media. This is the day and age of social media. That means what you do today, they're going to be able to see it 10, 20, 30 years from now when you mature and when you finally wake up. And one of the reasons why I share my story is not because I am better than anyone. It's because when you know better, you do better. I remember when I was young and there were people that were older than me that used to tell me things and I didn't listen. I didn't. But that didn't stop them from telling me. And that don't stop me from remembering Mama said it was going to be days like this, right? So what each of us have a responsibility. Each one teach one. We all have a moral responsibility. So when we're talking about entertainment, understand that when you are an entertainer, you have a lot of power. Your power is influence. We don't understand the power of influence. Let me give you an example.
And you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
Hi, my name is Heather Schooler, owner of the company Help Me Finish and newly developed business billionaire breakthrough system. I want to talk today about my friend Zelda Robinson, who has created this mindful breakthrough system, which is absolutely phenomenal. And you want to know what I learned from it? I learned that I can stop the negative patterns in my life through one simple word: stop. And I think about that all the time. Every time I see a red light, I remember to stop. Every time I see a stop sign, I remember to stop. So even when I'm having a bad day and I can see a stop sign, it'll remind me of what Zelda's taught me. So if you guys haven't taken her program, you need to sign up for her program, because we all need to stop the negative voices in our head, and she's got the tools to help you do it. I'm Heather Schooler, owner of Help Me Finish, and I hope you guys sign up. And when you sign up, have a fantastic day every day, because that's what Zelda's going to teach you to do.
Hi, my name is Kim Davis, and I'm just so excited to be a part of the mindfulness exercise that we did today. Miss Zelda was excellent with allowing us to really relax and providing us with techniques of breathing to just sort of let things float off of you and get your mind in a right framework to just receive and be receptive, and above all, to be comfortable within yourself. So I thank you, Miss Zelda. I'll be tuning in more to your YouTube channel to find even more mindfulness exercises. And during this time in our lives, some of us anyway, we need to do things to relax and let go and just slow the mind down. So for that, Miss Zelda, I thank you and continue to do the great work.
Walker can say, do it with no hands. What we doing? Do it with no hands. Right. Michael Jordan can come out with a new shoe. How many people of them gonna go buy it? So our words are powerful. Can't pay their rent, but they going to get it. You understand where I'm coming from? So we all have some sort of moral responsibility. That's why I'm very careful with how I move with my platform, because I know that there are people watching me. And I want you to know what I know now. I don't want you to know what I knew then. But I'm not afraid to share my story to let you know that there is redemption.
All right, and we have been passing out like little note cards if you have questions. All right, the first question, this is actually a compliment. Mr. Cordell Smith, he just wants to say thank you, Miss Deb, for showing the way you are and being consistent with your heart. Clark makes hits, and he gave me his Instagram name. Once you start making a living off music, how do you gain funding to push through your own system?
That's me, by the way.
All right, I'm gonna direct that to you, Deborah.
Direct it to the lawyer, because
I'm gonna get her.
Like,
I'm just gonna say I have no idea.
because it's really real. Like, do you know that Jay-Z owns everything he has? Like, I remember when Jay, before he got where he used to be at, the club. My brother used to let him in the back door all the time to get up in there. One of the things with Jay is that he owns everything he had. Here's the biggest thing that you have to learn how to do is to invest in yourself. Just as clear as we just sat up here and said, don't look for handouts. They're going to come to you when they see how good you are. Then you decide whose money you want to spend. But first, you have to spend on yourself. Make me believe who you are. And who could do that better than you? So don't look so quick for a handout, because at the end of the day, you ain't going to want to share that pot. And you have to understand, when they give you $10, the $10 don't stop. Because the first day that you cash that check, the interest start going up. I had to learn that also. So when you go into the deals never end. Y'all have to know. Let me tell y'all something that's so ill. Now I'm going to go here with television. On Love and Hip Hop, one of the things that people didn't understand is that when people signed a contract, they signed their life. So you couldn't get out that contract, even though they said you released. But if you went to something else, it was going to pop up and show you, you ain't going nowhere. You in here for the life of loving hip hop in 18 months after. That means that I don't want you and you ain't coming back on here, but you not going nowhere else because we own you. So you have to be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you sign. You have to know that. Everybody want to be on reality shows for what? For what? To get on there to act like an asshole, let them get you drunk and you start acting other than yourself and doing all that stuff. Y'all got to understand how people sell their souls. And I so understand that circumstances will make the rabbi eat pork. But you have to be careful. Put that money in you. And when you start making that money, you won't be spending that much money. And it's becoming educated and learn the direction that you want to go in. You have to have a direction. You have to have a rollout plan. Those things are very important. And that's when you start developing a team, because now you're making that money. But don't go get your homeboy and your home, don't do that. Don't go get your sister and your brother. I'm telling you that. Be careful. Because this is when you're going to find out who your real friends are. You'll really find out who's really there for you. It don't matter what Pookie and JoJo say about you. You know them better than anybody. And one of the things about us is a lot of us that allow that one piece of paper to control our life.
How do you get your songs pitched or placed on TV, film, or even to another artist project? How do you get your songs in placement?
This is crazy. Like right now, for Foot Lockers, I have this thing where I need 5,000 songs, but they have to be unsigned artists. Who is it about that? Yeah, 5 million, I'm sorry. 5 million songs, but unsigned artists. Because they don't want to go through the drama of the record labels, because the record labels is really going to take their money. I'm going to make sure whoever I get that to BAM, the company that you can start submitting your stuff to. Kobo is another place. I'm also a part of Kobo. I forgot about that. Kobo is another place. But they also, there's so many doggone people jumping over to them now, like they don't really have the room. But it's this one company is in LA. They're looking for artists that have music to fit these television shows and a lot of that stuff. Growing up in hip hop, I also take a lot of people's songs too. So just do your homework, whoever.
Thank you.
And living in Chicago, the politics interfere with the entertainment industry. How do you move forward when the city has shut us out of most of the areas here?
Politics is everywhere, so don't just look at your city and say that the politics. I really want to commend you also, because this is a big thing that y'all don't understand. She ain't got to be here in Chicago. She ain't no Rudy Poot lawyer, but she came back home. That's a big thing. So this is something that you guys got to understand. When you make it and you leave out of here and you go somewhere else, you weaken your city. You weaken it. Come back home. We know there's going to be a lot of haters that people are going to do. Well, then your ass just need to move downtown and move somewhere else. But come strengthen your city.
How do you get a booking agent for shows? That's one.
I want to comment on this. Thank you for that acknowledgement. Both of you, it's really a pleasure to be on a panel with people like this. I feel like I'm just trying to keep up. I believe strongly in that, building out our industry in this city, film, music, and TV. And I've gone all around trying to gather up resources to bring it all back here. We have a vibrant entertainment community here. We have a lot of musical talent coming out of this town. There's a lot of financing here on the film side. I represent a lot of clients who are production companies and investors. Answer that question about how do you get your songs placed. It's constantly networking. I have clients in California, and they financed the movie Get Out and also packaged Black Klansman. They have back-to-back Academy Awards. And they're in California, but I'm their lawyer. And it's because they said, you know what, you take the time to come out here and learn the business, and we get it. There's money everywhere. Everything is not just on the coast. That's the #1 thing I want people to know in this room. Because that's what we're trying to fight against now, is people graduating from colleges here, Columbia, DePaul, and they leave. we've got a whole working studio here, CineSpace Studios on the west side. We're filming a lot of TV shows here. We still have Empire here. I work with the on-camera music supervisor over there. Always bringing people there for set visits, trying to get the word out. We are filming in this state. We're creating music in this state. We have, recording studios here in Fort Knox, all these places. I love that that's a focus today. And I think as artists, you should think about the resources that are here in Chicago and do your research, because we want you to be here. We want to create opportunities for our people. I mean, Chicago-based talent. Because all these other cities, they all boast of, Atlanta, Nashville, Miami, they're all hot music markets. But we have that all here. So back to the questions. Thank you for that, though. I believe in that. It's all about networking at the end of the day, and also staying the course. I know this is like broad general advice, but it's advice that people tend to overlook. I mean, I have an opinion. This is my own opinion. You have to do things to sustain yourself while you're on your way to your dream. And what I mean is, I'm in LA, and there's a lot of people sleeping in their cars out there. That's a thing, actually. It's actually part of the culture. I think maybe because it's warm out there, so you can pull that off. But I've met so many people who they want it so badly, like I will sleep on the street in my car. I'm like, well, you know what? This is my view. There are other ways to sustain yourself. I don't think you should do it. So that's controversial. I think you can want something. Okay, thank you.
That is not controversial. I think the biggest thing that we have to understand is that you ain't got to be all the way up here at the top. Like every artist that have music, they want to go to radio. Bam, I ain't knocking you down. You shouldn't even know that. But there's internet radio stations. This is what y'all have to understand. Internet radio stations is of the world, and it's not governed. It is not governed. I also have a internet radio stuff, myself and my son, B100 Radio. And we're in countries. So y'all have to understand, there's some big artists that live here. They might don't perform here, but they're on that plane going overseas performing, and that money looks just as good. Stop listening to people talking about, oh, they ain't nobody no more, so that's why they're going over there. No, there's a lot of people that's getting that guap, and I'm so happy you think that, so now I ain't got to worry about you coming to try to rob me, all right?
Hi, I'm Jan Lewis, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.